Nearly $7 billion was spent on the 2012 U.S. presidential and congressional elections. Estimates for the 2016 presidential election are even higher after Supreme Court rulings made it easier for wealthy individuals and groups to donate more money than ever. But the 2016 race is not the only race Americans are following this year. We have the so-called midterm elections for members of Congress. And of course, joining me right now is Jim Malone to talk about this. Thank you for joining us, Jim.
You bet.
What happened? There's a serious surprise that just came out of this in the with regards to Republican primaries. What happened, and what do you think it means with regards to what just happened?
Right, we're talking about the loss of Eric Cantor, a congressman from Virginia. He's the second-ranking Republican in the House of Representatives. Look, this is huge because, first of all, congressional leaders don't lose in party primaries very often. But the shockwaves it's sending throughout the Republican Party are enormous. Cantor was open to the idea of immigration reform in some form. Now this is probably going to make a lot of Republicans leery about even going down that road. So immigration reform could be in jeopardy. It's likely Republicans will be even less interested in cooperating with President Barack Obama. And the other thing about both this election and in 2016, this sort of ongoing conflict, war between the Tea Party and the Republican Party, it's going to heat up.
Now, of course, the president is a Democrat. What does it mean for the Republicans? Do you think we'll see increasing numbers?
Well, I think Republicans are energized this year. The big concern for Democrats is their voters are not very interested in the elections. That could lead to huge Republican gains in both the House and the Senate. And remember, they control the House. What they want to do now is take over the Senate, and they have an excellent chance to do that. Okay.
A lot has been said about the increasing role of money in U.S. election. What's going on with that?
Look, we've had a number of Supreme Court decisions beginning in 2010. The most recent one this year makes it easier for people to give more and more amounts to an increasing number of candidates, political committees, political action committees. Most Americans think that this really allows the wealthy to have an exorbitant role in our politics. That's the concern. But right now, there's no way out of this in terms of legislation. The Supreme Court would likely knock it down, and Congress doesn't seem willing to address it. So for the foreseeable future, wealthy individuals, wealthy groups will continue to have an outsized role in our politics.
Would people be able to know who these wealthy individuals are?
In many cases, yes, but in some cases, no. Some of the law protects anonymous donors. Democrats in particular want to change that aspect of the law. It's unclear if they would have success in Congress.
And now talking about Hillary Clinton, she just came out with this book, and of course the book talks about her role as a Secretary of State. But do you think this is like a stepping stone towards letting people know that I'm here?
Well, letting them know that I'm here, and if they're interested in looking at 2016, I may be available. She's not definitively saying she's running. Let's be clear about that. But her book talks about her time as Secretary of State. It's a way to remind everyone of what she believes are some of her strongest achievements representing the United States around the world. And some of the toughest problems, and by the way, an opportunity to put some daylight between herself and even President Obama, say on the situation regarding Syria and the rebels, different point of view. So if you are running for president, and again, we don't know, this sets up perfectly because she gets her book out there, she's going on a tour, she's starting to build momentum now. And it's perfect because the polls show she'd be a huge favorite among Democrats. In fact, Democrats will panic if she doesn't run. And she also does very well against a number of potential Republicans right now. So it sets up well. The only question remaining to be answered, are you running or not? We won't know that probably until early next year.
All right, let's see what happens with that. Thank you so much for your time. VOA National Correspondent Jim Malone.
You're welcome.